Hello, my name is Sonia Eckel, and I'm a Silver Senior Vice President leader with Norwex. And back in 2009, I started my Norwex journey. And for over 16 years, one of my favorite things is helping other consultants change their life through the vehicle of Norwex the way it has absolutely changed mine. So when I started, I was a stay-at-home mom. I had quit my full-time work as a physical therapist to be home with our children. We had 3 at that point. And my friend went to her first Norwex party, and she called me and was raving about it. Now, I was a little skeptical, honestly, because I had been using pretty high-quality microfiber for about 3 years at that point. And I'd spent over $80 on it, so it wasn't the cheap stuff. And so when she told me about it, I thought, okay, but I actually bought the toilet brush first because I had 3 boys and toilet cleaning was one of my cleaning challenges at the moment. And then she came to visit and she brought her cloths. And that was that moment for me where I saw them in comparison to what I'd been using, and I was blown away. I saw that it took everything to the next level. And I'm a quality girl. And so I love getting the best quality, right? I want something that's going to last me, that's going to do what it says it does. And so it was kind of that moment in time where I knew this was a product that I needed to bring to the world. And so I jumped in and I totally did it scared. So just to know a little bit about me, I've grown a lot in 16 years, but naturally by nature, I'm a bit of an introvert, a homebody, and our budget was so tight that I didn't go to parties really a whole lot. Well, really, I think I'd been to one and I'd hosted one in my life. But when I saw this product and my friend told me, she's like, we're not looking for salespeople, we're looking for educators, because this product requires that we teach people a totally different way of cleaning, where we shift from a chemically based mindset into, she didn't call it this then, but a mechanically way to clean with just water. And so I jumped in and I did what our leader taught us, which was to do parties. And I started out doing 2 per week. Now, financially, I knew that things were tight. We were living on my hubby's income, which God has always taken good care of us, but it always felt like there was just a little extra month at the end of the money, if you know what I'm saying. And so in my head, I felt like, okay, I've got some options. I can go back to my full-time PT work, or I was actually praying for an alternative that would allow me to still be home, raise my kiddos, and earn income. And really, Norwex was the answer to that prayer, and I'm super grateful. Now, what I love about Norwex is what a practical product it is, because at the point when I started, I didn't have money for luxuries, and I'm a wellness nut, but unfortunately, even the wellness things were getting X'd off the budget because literally you got $1 and sent it out, right? And with Norwex, what I saw immediately was, oh my goodness, people already are buying paper towels. They're already buying cleaners. They're buying floor cleaner, granite cleaner, window cleaner, all the things. They're already budgeting for that. I just get to teach them a safer way, cleaner way that doesn't leave behind any of those chemical residues or the chemicals in the air. And before Norwex, as I mentioned, I was already using microfiber. And the reason why is I was beginning to learn how potentially harmful many of the things that we just grew up accepting as safe might be. Things like those little air freshener things you plug into your wall and spray in your bathroom, and of course cleaners and the residues and what goes into the air quality. So I was already trying to be green and safer, because once you have kiddos, like, it really shifted. It was no longer just about me. It's like, okay, how do I create a really safe home for my kids? So fast forward, I did it scared, I did it messy, but I just kept telling people about the products. They kept using it just like me. When they used it, they were like, oh my goodness, where has this been all my life? And I really built my business by doing 2 in-home shows per week. That's really, really what built. And I remember at first I thought, if I could even just make an extra $500 per month, that would be super helpful, because you see, I wanted to be able to buy more organic food, but it was almost double in price. And so it wasn't in the budget. So I thought, an extra 500 and I could buy more organic food. And so I went out, I did my first 2 parties. And from my commission, I earned about $500. And that was the moment I realized, wow, this is actually a real vehicle for me to be able to fill that financial gap for our family. And so I kept doing the parties. I remember the next thing I thought, man, if I could make $2,000 per month, wouldn't that be incredible? And that, again, just with my 35% earnings, quickly became a reality. And then, of course, what I love about our industry is the ability to help others make money for their family, and also the ability to build a residual income. Now, it's not a get quick scheme or anything like that. It just means that I invited others to do this with me. I was like, you want to do this with me? Because I knew I couldn't do it on my own. It's way too big of a mission for me to do it on my own. So I would ask people, do you want to do this with me? They would go out and do what I was doing. I would teach them everything I was doing. They'd do it. They'd make money for their family. And that began to grow the compensation from Norwex for leadership. And not making any income claims. Of course, it's always based on what each of us choose to personally do with this. But I can tell you this, that prior to Norwex, when Willie and I, that's my hubby, we had sat down and we were just trying to create a vision for our life. We knew we didn't want to be financially strapped all our life. And so it was like, okay, what is this vision? And I remember cutting pictures out of catalogs, gluing it on a paper. This was before Google and Canva, and it's a whole different world. And putting them on as this vision for our family and where we wanted to go. And we found that little vision board years later after I was building my Norwex business. And it was absolutely mind-blowing to look and see that most everything that we had put on that had become reality for us. And again, not through just dreaming, but through consistently taking action in my business, consistently earning that income and changing other people's lives along the way. I just think this is one of the most win businesses out there. I love it so much. I'm very honored to represent our company. I feel like it's a mission that I totally just align with so much, helping people save money, helping people save a lot of time in their cleaning, helping people create a safer home, because that can be super overwhelming. And truly, these green cleaners out there, some of them are kind of greenwashed. They say they're green, but they're not actually when you research it. But all of them are pretty spendy. And so if I can teach someone a way to mechanically clean their home instead of needing to spend a lot of money on cleaners and paper towels and disinfectant wipes, then I'm also helping their family budget. And I also love that it helps me be a better steward of this amazing planet without putting toxic junk down our drains, down our toilets. So that's a little bit of my story, just a smidget. But let me just share this, that if you happen to be watching this, I never believe something's by accident, right? And if you are considering becoming a Norwex consultant, I think it's one of the better decisions that I made. And I'll promise you, it was outside my comfort zone. Just between us, I don't even like to clean, but I love a clean house. And this checked that box, where literally my cleaning was fast, it was easy. My house I knew was clean for my kiddos. I knew it didn't have chemical residues. Even if you're on shore and you're maybe a little scared, I know I certainly was, what do you have to lose? Norwex makes it so incredibly simple to jump in and become a consultant, and really you have the ability to start earning that income immediately. You don't have to build this giant team to earn income. No, literally, you start going out, sharing these products with people you love, and then you meet more people, you share the products with them, it changes their life. And all along the way, you earn income as a thank you for being a game changer for other people. So love it. If you're considering it, I would encourage you, give it a try. Really, 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 what do you have to lose? And what might you gain? Thanks so much for watching. And if we get to welcome you to the Norwex family, oh my goodness, we're going to be so thrilled. We have a massive mission. Our products are currently in about 4% of homes in our country, which means 96% of houses don't have them yet, which means we have so much work to do. And if this feels like it might be a good fit for you, I just encourage you to jump in. Give it a try, and we'd love to welcome you to the Norwex mission.